Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Quick video here. In the last video, the final video of Keezer, I found the electronic clips that I was missing that did the back plug electronics on the inside. So I thought you guys might want to see that, so I'll guide you through it real quick in this short video. And I hope you enjoy it. If you haven't seen the first 4 parts, I'll link them above or in the description, and I'll leave all the parts. I got it from different various places, but I'll leave the main parts in the description, so if you want to find it you can. But stay tuned. We're gonna get back to some more shop stuff. I gotta organize this place because it's a disaster, and we're gonna get in the attic soon and start finishing that up. And I have the bookshelf latch video coming up soon. I just filmed that the other day. I finally got that book latch system put in to lock that bookshelf, so you'll see that's really neat. But stay tuned. Please subscribe if you haven't. Click on that like button. Make sure you check out the whole build for the Keezer. It was a really fun build. And here's the video, and I'll guide you through it. Enjoy. Alright, start with just a regular surge protector, outlet thing. I put a couple L brackets on it, and then I'm just screwing it to the back. You'll see I got my little smart plug in there already, but this has 4 outlets, and I'm just going to plug everything that I need to into it. This is the temperature sensor that turns the freezer on and off. I'm just screwing that in as well, and then it has a little plug that just attaches on the back here so you can mount that too. And then you'll see here, I'm just going to plug the freezer into that outlet right there on the temperature sensor. So what that does is the temperature probe that I'm going to put inside this freezer will turn that freezer on and off itself, just judging by whatever temperature you want it to be at. So you set the temperature sensor to, say, 34 degrees, plus or minus a couple of degrees. And once the temperature sensor reads that, it'll shut it off, and then if it gets too high or too low, it'll turn it on or turn it off. So it's kind of a neat setup. So I just plug that temperature sensor into the surge protector, so that has power, and then literally I'll just have to plug that surge protector into the wall. That's the only thing that'll get plugged into the wall. So here I'm just feeding the temperature probe in, and that'll just hang inside the corner. I kept it a few inches off the bottom floor, that way it's got a good temperature reading inside the freezer. But like I said, you'll see in a second here, I got a little fan in there, so it circulates it through pretty good. So I'm just taking some zip ties and twist ties, and I'm just making sure everything's nice and clean up behind here, because I still have to transport this to its final destination. The other plug here you'll see on the ground, that's the fan. So I'm just plugging that into that smart plug, and then we ended up programming that to come on an hour and a half and then a half an hour off. So every 2 hours it runs for an hour and a half, and then it shuts off for half an hour, and that gets good circulation we see through the tower and everything, so it seems to be working good. But it's adjustable all different ways. So alright, so on the inside I have, this is just a block for the CO2. It's a 3-way, so it goes from 1 to 3. So what I do is I'm just screwing into the side here. Also, I'm just using little self-tapping screws, so I don't go through anything inside there. It's mostly just insulation, but I just wanted to be careful. So this is the main hose that connects on the end of the block, and that'll go into the CO2 tank right here, which is in the corner down there. And then that will tee off to 3 different lines. So it'll be all 3 lines that go to the keg. You'll see the thing I'm holding there, that's the fan elbow. You'll see the little fan right here. That's all it is. It's like a little computer fan kind of, but it's made for different temperatures, and it's a kind of a heavy-duty version. I'll link it in the description. Here I'm just doing some glue on this elbow, and I'm going to glue this all together, and then I'll be able to put it up here, and it just clears that keg tank right there, which is a 6 keg. So it'll just clear all the kegs inside of here, so it kind of worked out just right. But it's just going to stick the fan down in here a couple inches, and that way I'll be able to draw some cold air up, and then it'll send it through, it'll push it through the tower, and then you'll see the other side there where the hoses come out is where the air will come out. So it's literally just feeding cool air through and through. Here I'm just tightening down. I got the first keg adapter on there, or the keg tap, and I'm just tightening down the nuts. In a second I'll show you how those all go together. But obviously there's 3 setups in there, and they come in a kit, so it's kind of nice. You choose the adapter you want, and then it comes with the 2 hoses with the nuts, washers, the whole 9 yards, and they're all a standard length, because technically they're supposed to be about 4 foot long for the CO2 and for the keg, so for even pressure and stuff along those lines from what I read. So here I'm just connecting up the other end. The red lines are the CO2 lines, and the clear lines are the beer lines. They're pretty standard size. I think they're 5/8 or 3/8, something like that. Here I'm just connecting the next one up. So you gotta put a little rubber washer in there, and then it threads onto the keg tap. I also use these 90s. It's hard to see. They're on top of the keg tap, those chrome ones. Otherwise, the normal hose would come straight out the top, which obviously wouldn't work in this case because you'll see it here in the bottom corner, that little 90. I had to thread that onto top of the keg tap, and that diverts the hoses to the side so that they don't interfere with the top of this keg. Normally they would build a collar around the keg to raise it up so you wouldn't have that issue, but in this case I found these little adapters and they work perfect for what I need. So you see I'm just attaching the hoses here and tightening them down. There's rubber washers and plastic washers in there, so you don't really need to get crazy. You just got to be nice and snug, and it's not under a lot of pressure like a normal water line, so it's kind of decent. So here I'm just zip tying all the hoses to make sure they're clean and tied together. Later on I end up marking each hose 1, 2, and 3 so I know which one's which going into the tap to the tower. Makes it a little bit easier, but I think I left 1, 2, and 3 across. So from this one here is keg 1, and then 2 and 3, and they kind of go diagonal. I don't have, this is just an empty keg I had, so that's just sitting in the bottom there, just as a fitment. So all the other keg taps are on top of that, you can see, and I'm just putting the last one on here. And then I just got to tighten all the nuts at this tower. They're all like little flare nuts, so I'm just tightening those down nice and snug, and then everything's hooked up. I'm just going to clean up the zip ties, and it's all good. All I gotta do is go get some full kegs, and then they twist on, and then you lock it in place with the little keg tap, and then they're all tapped. Here I'm turning on the CO2 tank to test that out, make sure I got no leaks, and then I'm gonna set it down in here because I gotta transport this thing. I don't want it falling down, but normally it would sit right where it was up on that shelf. It fits perfectly. So that's it. I mean, there's really not much to it. You can see the wire here in the foreground. That's the temperature probe. It's sitting down in there. The other wire is the power for the fan. And then the 3 kegs are just going to go in there diagonally, and they fit just perfect. And everything clears underneath the top. You see I'm just showing off the keg here, the tap. So there's just 3 of those in there, and then they all tap in. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed hopefully this helped you out, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.